Thankfully, we have psychotherapist Dr. Robi Ludwig here. Dr. Robi, it's interesting. I mean, what does passive-aggressive actually mean, and what does it look like?
So passive-aggressive behavior is a lack of clear communication. And it's when you're feeling angry, but you show it in a covert way. So you might feel, if you're the recipient of it, like, am I seeing things? Did I read that right? It's really not clear, but you can feel sucker punched in a way. So it can look like gossiping, sharing misinformation, ignoring somebody to show that you're angry, devaluing somebody, but it looks like a joke. And so all of these are examples of people who are, dealing with aggression in an underhanded way.
How do you recognize if you are the one who is the perpetrator, and what causes that? Is it like anger that you just don't know how to express?
In some cases, I mean, I worked with somebody where it was unconscious and they saw themselves as good, so they couldn't possibly do anything bad, so they were not aware of it. But if you notice your relationships are failing around you, where people are angry with you or they don't trust you, you may want to ask yourself, how am I handling my anger? Am I managing it in a way where I'm letting people know how I feel? But you first have to become aware of how you metabolize anger. Are you okay with anger? And how can you express it in a way that's not destructive to your relationships?
I'm really interested in what you said even about the joking, because when I think of passive-aggressive, my metric would be, does it make me feel small? Right? Like, was that comment really a joke? Is there a ha-ha at the end, or were you just trying to make me feel small? So what if you're on the receiving end of passive-aggressive behavior?
So what's interesting is sometimes someone's aware of it and sometimes they're not, but it's always best to say, hey, I heard what you said. It struck me. Is there something I'm not aware of that you might be upset with me about? Because I really want to know. Because you have to check individually. Because you don't know a person's intent, but you have to say what your boundaries are. If you're not liking a reaction, say it in a way that a person can hear it.
And it's okay to make that known and have that direct conversation. What about at work? What are some ways this might manifest itself?
So there are cultural differences at work, and there are different age groups, and the younger generation tends to be more direct and maybe aggressive, and the older generation might be more relaxed in terms of how they share their upset. So recognize that there are different cultural differences, and in some cultures, it's not considered polite to be aggressive. So consider all of those factors and then say what you need to say in a nice way.
I love it. A little bit of grace goes a long way.
Totally. Psychotherapist Dr. Robi Ludwig, as always, it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dr. Robi. Stay with us. You're watching NBC News Daily. I think that's great.